If your calves have been cramping up in the middle of the night, or you've been feeling unusually anxious for no clear reason, or your heart has done that strange little flutter every now and then, I want you to keep watching, because there's a mineral most people over 60 simply aren't getting enough of, and its absence quietly mimics half a dozen other conditions. It's called magnesium, and it's involved in literally hundreds of processes throughout your body, from muscle contraction to nerve signaling to heart rhythm to sleep quality itself. Yet as we age, our ability to absorb and retain magnesium naturally declines, often at the exact same time our need for it becomes more important than ever. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 8 warning signs that your body may be asking for more magnesium, signs that are constantly mistaken for ordinary aging, along with what you can actually do about it. If you find value in this kind of practical, science-informed health content, go ahead and subscribe to Longevity Insight right now, because we release videos exactly like this every single week, built specifically to help you understand what your body is trying to tell you. Let's start with why magnesium matters so much in the first place, because understanding its role makes every symptom on this list click into place. Magnesium is involved in over 300 different enzymatic reactions throughout the body. It helps regulate muscle contraction and relaxation, supports healthy nerve signaling, plays a role in maintaining a steady heart rhythm, contributes to bone structure alongside calcium, and even influences how well your body produces energy at the cellular level. It's genuinely one of those minerals that touches nearly everything, which is exactly why a shortfall can show up in so many different, seemingly unrelated ways. And here's the part that catches so many people off guard after 60. Several things tend to converge at this stage of life to make magnesium deficiency more common, even in people eating what looks like a reasonably healthy diet. Absorption in the digestive tract naturally becomes somewhat less efficient with age. Certain very commonly prescribed medications, including some diuretics used for blood pressure and some medications used for acid reflux, can increase magnesium loss or reduce its absorption. And digestive conditions that become more common with age can further interfere with how well magnesium is absorbed from food in the first place. Put all of that together and it becomes clear why so many people over 60 may be running low without ever realizing it. The first warning sign is muscle cramps, particularly in the calves, feet, or hands, especially the kind that show up at night and jolt you awake. Magnesium plays a direct role in allowing muscles to relax properly after they contract. When levels run low, muscles become more prone to involuntary spasms and cramping, because the normal relaxation signal isn't being delivered as effectively. This is one of the most classic and recognizable signs of low magnesium. Yet it's almost universally chalked up to simply being an older adult, or blamed on dehydration alone, when magnesium may be playing a significant role as well. The second warning sign is persistent fatigue that doesn't seem to have an obvious cause. Because magnesium is so deeply involved in how your cells produce and use energy, running low can leave you feeling generally depleted, even when you're sleeping a reasonable number of hours and haven't been unusually active. This kind of fatigue often feels different from simple tiredness. It can feel more like a heaviness, a lack of get up and go that coffee doesn't quite fix, and it's frequently one of the earliest, most overlooked signs of a magnesium shortfall. The third warning sign is poor sleep quality, including difficulty falling asleep, waking frequently during the night, or simply not feeling rested even after a full night in bed. Magnesium plays an important role in regulating the nervous system and supporting the body's natural transition into deep restorative sleep. It helps activate certain calming neurotransmitters that allow your mind and body to settle down at night. When magnesium runs low, that natural wind-down process becomes less effective, which can leave you feeling wired at bedtime or prone to restless, fragmented sleep throughout the night. The fourth warning sign is general muscle weakness, separate from cramping, where you simply feel less strong than you expect to, whether that's struggling more than usual to open a jar, carry groceries, or climb a flight of stairs. Since magnesium supports proper muscle and nerve function together, a shortfall can translate into muscles that don't fire as efficiently as they should, leaving you feeling weaker even without any change to your actual muscle mass. The fifth warning sign is an irregular heartbeat, sometimes described as a fluttering sensation, a skipped beat, or a feeling of your heart racing briefly for no clear reason. This is one of the more important signs to take seriously, because magnesium plays a direct role in maintaining the electrical signals that keep your heart beating in a steady, coordinated rhythm. When magnesium levels drop significantly, this rhythm can become less stable. Occasional brief flutters are common and often harmless, but if you're noticing this pattern regularly, it's absolutely worth mentioning to your doctor, both to check magnesium levels and to rule out other potential causes. The sixth warning sign is numbness or tingling, particularly in the hands and feet, sometimes described as a pins and needles sensation that comes and goes without an obvious trigger. Magnesium is important for healthy nerve conduction throughout the body, and when levels run low, nerve signals can become somewhat erratic, producing these unusual sensory experiences. This particular sign can have several other causes as well, including circulation issues we've discussed in other videos, which is exactly why blood work rather than guessing is the most reliable way to understand what's actually going on. The seventh warning sign is frequent headaches, including tension-type headaches, or for some people, an increase in migraine frequency. Magnesium is involved in regulating blood vessel function and nerve signaling in ways that directly relate to headache development, and some research has pointed to magnesium's role in calming the kind of nerve excitability associated with migraines specifically. If headaches have become more frequent or more intense as you've gotten older, magnesium is genuinely one of the factors worth discussing with your healthcare provider alongside the more commonly considered causes. The eighth and final warning sign is mood changes, including increased anxiety, irritability, or a general low mood that feels different from your typical baseline. This connection surprises a lot of people. But magnesium plays a meaningful role in regulating the nervous system and supporting the balance of certain calming neurotransmitters in the brain. When levels run consistently low, some people notice a subtle but persistent shift toward feeling more on edge or emotionally flat without any other clear explanation for the change. This is absolutely not meant to suggest that all mood changes stem from magnesium, since mood is influenced by countless factors, but it's a piece of the puzzle worth being aware of, especially when it appears alongside several of the other signs we've covered. Now, here's something genuinely important to understand about all 8 of these signs together. Individually, each one has plenty of other possible explanations, and I don't want you walking away from this video assuming every muscle cramp or restless night means you're deficient in magnesium. What matters far more is the pattern. When several of these signs show up together, particularly muscle cramps alongside poor sleep or fatigue alongside occasional heart flutters, that combination is a much stronger signal worth paying attention to than any single symptom on its own. And the good news is that checking magnesium status is straightforward. A simple blood test can provide a general sense of your levels. Though it's worth knowing that blood tests only capture a small fraction of the body's total magnesium, since most of it is stored within bones and tissues rather than circulating in the bloodstream. This is exactly why your doctor will often consider your symptoms alongside blood work, rather than relying on a lab number alone. Let's talk about why absorption and retention specifically become more challenging after 60. Because understanding the cause helps you address it more effectively. As we age, the digestive system naturally becomes somewhat less efficient at absorbing certain nutrients from food, magnesium included. Kidney function, which plays a central role in how much magnesium the body retains versus excretes, also shifts gradually with age, which can affect overall magnesium balance. Certain medications commonly used after 60 deserve specific mention here as well. Diuretics, frequently prescribed for blood pressure or fluid retention, can increase how much magnesium is lost through urine. Proton pump inhibitors, commonly used long-term for acid reflux, have been associated with reduced magnesium absorption when used consistently over extended periods. And digestive conditions that affect nutrient absorption more broadly, which become somewhat more common with age, can further compound the issue. None of this means these medications should be stopped without a doctor's guidance, since they're often prescribed for genuinely important reasons. It simply means that if you're taking any of these, being aware of magnesium status specifically is a smart, proactive step. So what can you actually do to support healthy magnesium levels? The most fundamental approach is through diet, and thankfully, magnesium-rich foods are widely available and genuinely enjoyable. Leafy green vegetables, particularly spinach and Swiss chard, are excellent sources. Nuts and seeds, especially almonds, cashews, and pumpkin seeds, provide a meaningful amount as well. Legumes, including black beans and chickpeas, whole grains like brown rice and oats, and even dark chocolate in moderation all contribute to overall magnesium intake. Fatty fish like salmon and mackerel offer some magnesium too, alongside their well-known benefits for heart health. Building a plate that regularly includes a handful of these foods throughout the week, rather than relying on any single source, tends to be the most sustainable and enjoyable way to support healthy magnesium levels through diet alone. For some people, dietary changes alone may not be enough to fully address a deficiency, and this is where supplements sometimes enter the conversation. I want to be very direct about this part because it matters. Magnesium supplements are widely available and come in several different forms. Some absorb more easily than others, and they can genuinely help when a true deficiency has been identified. However, Magnesium supplementation is absolutely something to discuss with your doctor before starting, for a few important reasons. If you have kidney disease or reduced kidney function, your kidneys may not be able to efficiently clear excess magnesium, which can allow levels to build up to potentially harmful amounts, a risk that doesn't exist for people with healthy kidney function. Additionally, magnesium supplements can interact with certain prescription medications, including some antibiotics and osteoporosis medications, potentially affecting how well those medications are absorbed or work. Your doctor can help determine whether supplementation makes sense for you specifically, what form might be most appropriate, and what dosage is safe given your individual health picture, including your kidney function and current medications. Beyond diet and supplementation, a few broader lifestyle habits support healthy magnesium balance as well. Managing stress matters here too, since chronic stress has been associated with increased magnesium loss through the body's stress response systems, creating a bit of a cycle where low magnesium contributes to feeling more stressed, which in turn depletes magnesium further. Simple stress reduction habits, whether that's a daily walk, time outdoors, or activities you genuinely enjoy, support this balance in a meaningful, if indirect, way. Limiting excessive alcohol intake matters too, since alcohol increases magnesium loss through urine and can further compound an existing shortfall. And staying adequately hydrated supports overall kidney function and nutrient balance more broadly, tying back to several of the other health topics we've covered on this channel. I think what makes magnesium such an interesting topic is precisely how quietly it operates. It's not a mineral most people think about day to day, yet its fingerprints are all over some of the most common complaints associated with getting older: muscle cramps, poor sleep, low energy, occasional heart flutters, headaches, and mood shifts. None of this means every symptom you experience traces back to magnesium specifically, but it does mean that this often overlooked mineral deserves a place in the conversation, especially when several of these signs show up together and a clear cause hasn't already been identified. If any of these 8 signs sounded familiar to you, I'd genuinely love to hear about it, so leave a comment below and let me know which ones resonated, or share your own experience if you've already worked with your doctor on this. Conversations like this help other people watching recognize patterns they might have been quietly living with for years without connecting the dots. And if you know someone who's been dealing with muscle cramps, restless nights, or unexplained fatigue, a parent, a spouse, a friend, please take a moment to share this video with them. It might be exactly the piece of information that helps them finally get some answers. Before you go, here's what I want you to remember. Your body rarely produces symptoms without a reason, and something as simple and correctable as a magnesium shortfall can be behind a surprising number of complaints that get written off as ordinary aging. Paying attention to these signs, discussing them openly with your doctor, and making small, sustainable changes to your diet and habits can genuinely support your strength, your sleep, your heart rhythm, and your overall sense of well-being in the years ahead. If you found this video helpful, make sure you're subscribed to Longevity Insight and turn on notifications so you never miss the practical, science-based health guidance we share here every week. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.